would that be classed as geocaching in pajama day if you're naked? Because if you don't wear pajamas, that would be the same, surely.
No,
sure.
No, that doesn't count. You got to wear pajamas.
But if that's your pajamas, your skin is your pajamas.
Yeah,
it's a birthday suit.
You could just say the hair on your body is your pajamas.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, friends. Well, it's been almost a year since you've heard from me, but it's good to be back. And in this episode, join me as we hang out and chat with the boys, two guys who have a deep passion and love for this hobby, the geocaching vlogger and the Aussie geocacher, and to catch up and reminisce over an awesome 25 years of geocaching. Now, unfortunately, I was on the tail end of a cold that just wouldn't go away, but we had a great time chatting about the hobby, what's up with the boys, plans for 2025, upcoming events, treasures, video making, and the Geocaching Film Festival, block parties, caching with kids, and even the definition of pajamas. Looking back over years of adventures and the evolution of this most excellent activity. Come and hang out with us. This is TGIF Geocaching Radio. And we are back. It is great to be back. It has been so long, but I want to welcome now the special guests who are showing up for tonight so we can chat and have a great time about talking about geocaching 25 years. I want to welcome the names everybody knows in the geocaching world. And if you don't, well, you will. So that is Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and Craig, the Aussie geocacher. See my shell.
Hey, good day, mate.
No, that's my line, Josh. That's my line. I say, "G'day, mate." No one's going to know that's you. That's not me, Josh. Yeah, no one's going to.
We need to get some impersonators who can impersonate all the geocaching people.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That'd be good.
Thanks for having us back, Jeff. It's good to be back.
Absolutely. You guys have your own podcast now as well. The Toot, I like to call it.
Toot.
Treasures of Our Town. You guys, I think you started after I did, but you've been so consistent with your episodes and everything, and you're just shooting. It's awesome how it's going. How is it going for you guys?
Very, very good. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, thanks, mate. We've been, it's been hard road like recently in regards to getting some actual content out there because it is every 2 weeks. So we do one episode every 2 weeks. Touch wood, we have not missed one yet. We came close the other week when I was in Alabama for the Bamorama, the big Bamorama mega event, and it came close because we didn't line up, and so it was we do it Monday morning. It was Sunday night, Jeff. Sunday night, 9 p.m. we recorded, and it needed to be out by 5 a.m. the next morning. So yeah, that was a late one for me. That one, I tell you. So yeah. What about you, Josh? What are you thinking, mate?
It's going great. We're consistent. I love that. But the challenge is that it is a travel podcast, and we'll talk about this probably a little bit later. I am in a bit of a travel slump right now. As I have not gotten on an airplane for over 7 months.
Wow.
How can you host a travel podcast and not actually travel? And then on the other side of it, my friend Craig is van lifing right now. So he is living pretty much the opposite life as far as travel goes. So I guess it kind of balances out. But we've managed to continue to have enough to talk about, even though I'm not necessarily on a plane as much as I'd want to be.
But Josh, you got to have a big repository of unused videos you're still working on, right?
No,
or is it?
We could talk about that too, man. I am week to week. That's another downside of not being on a plane for over 7 months. I'm hanging on. I have not missed a week. I have not missed a week of videos. We're over 14 years now.
But, not since you started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I cut it close some weeks. But when you have a good streak going, you got to put something out.
Well, it seems like forever since we actually sat down, but you had me on, I think it was season 2, episode 9 on Toot to chat about a Canadian's perspective on best U.S. places to visit.
Yes. Yes. If that's not like, trying to get someone in the podcast, as a guest, and we wanted you on there, we're like, okay, what can we do from a Canadian's point of view? Because we are a US podcast, you see. So we're like, okay, how can we get Jeff on? What can we do? And so, yeah, that's what we come up, or Josh actually comes up. Credit where credit's due. Josh actually comes up with 99% of the themes and titles itself, and I do all the audio work. I do all the manual work, you see. But Josh is the creative mind, and I'm the physical mind. So
yeah, I'm on the creative team of one. Actually, one of the most creative things that we do every year, we just recorded, and that is our roadside attractions March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
So we put U.S. roadside attractions in a bracket style head-to-head tournament to determine what is the best roadside attraction in America. And so we just recorded that, and it'll be posted next week. So that is a ton of fun. That's probably, I think maybe the most creative thing I've thought of for a podcast.
And I will go on further than that, Jeff, and just say that last year was our first year doing it, and it was our number one most listened or downloaded show episode that we've ever done itself. So we've got big hopes this year. And this year, though, all I'll say is that it's now the longest running episode that we have, which is just under 2 hours long. Under 2 hours long. So, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We loved it, and we also thank our guests that we have on too. So we have a special guest each year too. So we had Shorty Knits was on last year, and then this year we had Mecca MN from Minnesota as well. So yeah, nice. It's lots of fun, mate. Lots of fun.
Yep. Yeah, and being a geocaching themed podcast tonight, how much of geocaching is relevant in your episodes? Like, are you doing anything, say, for the 25 years of geocaching in your Treasures of Our Town?
It's funny that you should say that, because I know we're going to get to this a little bit later, but for the third year in a row, Craig and I are going to do the Treasures of Our Town podcast live on stage at Geo Woodstock. So we were thinking about what are we going to do, and we are good. I don't know if we've even said this, Craig, on our podcast.
No, I don't think we have.
This is an exclusive. This is exclusive. Are you ready? So we are going to talk about basically Geocaching HQ's 25 greatest hits over the years. So an example would be like the introduction of Adventure Labs, or the introduction of souvenirs, or just all, CETO, for example, that whole concept. So we're gonna go through the top 25 greatest hits over the past 25 years of geocaching. So that's what we're going to talk about on stage. So it's going to be a very geocaching centric show at Geo Woodstock. It's got to be. I mean, we're talking about a bazillion geocachers. Yeah,
it's and we talk about, like, geocoins as well, the introduction of geocoins. So what's the best 25 things that you think Geocaching HQ have implemented in our fun hobby of geocaching? Last year at Geo Woodstock, they celebrated 20 years of Geo Woodstock, and so we did a 20 years of Geo Woodstock look back. So we did year 1, 2, all the way up to Geo Woodstock 20. So this year, 25 years of geocaching in general. So
well, that sounds good. And not so geocaching related, you guys are both heavily involved in Munzie now, aren't you?
Oh, you not only heavily involved, but you are looking at, not me, but an actual employee of Munzie. Craig works for them. He's on the payroll.
When you say that I'm on the payroll, basically I subcontract myself to Munzie at the moment. So and it's not just Munzie; it's called Freeze Tag. Freeze Tag is the overall mechanism, or the overall business that runs. Part of that is Munzie. Part of it is what they call Vency, Wallaby. They've got other games as well that you can play. And so I'm part of the Freeze Tag team, proudly part of the Freeze Tag team, and which I do all the video creation, video developments. I do social media content. I do that sort of thing. So more promotional work. At the moment, I'm actually doing more through Eventsy than what I'm doing with Munzie. And the people who play Munzie can't see it at the moment. That's all it is. So it's just a subcontracted rate. What it does with Munzie's a very different game to what it used to be. So, some of your listeners, Jeff, they're probably like me, like I was. I downloaded Munzie when Josh first showed me back in 2014, whatever it was. And it used to be geocaching with stickers. I went, this is all right, but not for me. Got out of it. Got back into it like 4 years ago now, because I had found all the geocaches in my area, and I was living in a small town with no car. I opened the Munzie app, and oh my goodness, this has now turned into a points-based, heavy points-based game. And as Josh lovely and proud to say, he says, if you get geocaching and Pokemon Go, and if they have a little baby, then that's Munzie. So that's that's exactly how he says it as well. So that's what Munzie has now become. So it's a much more enjoyable game. It's a game which everyone can play every single day, even if you don't leave your house sometimes, just to say that too. So yeah.
I remember thinking about how much potential it had, because I was actually one of the initial beta testers when the game first started.
Wow.
And so it had changed a lot between there and since you started as well. So it's taken a lot of huge leaps till today since when it started.
Just one more thing, proud to say, I've got my own actual Munzie now that people can obtain and then deploy little me all over the world. And it's called the Flat Aussie, and it's my hat as the Munzie type. So it's my actual hat, my Yakubra hat that I normally wear, and it's that one there, floats all around the world. So proud of that too, mate.
And another thing, Craig, you didn't mention it, but you are also in charge of the official Munzie podcast, which actually happens weekly. So Craig currently is involved with 3 podcasts that are regularly put out there. So I'm sure we'll get to that too.
Yeah, I know on Be Real, I don't know if anybody's heard of Be Real, but I know on Be Real, something like half of your the photos that you share on there are you editing.
Yes. Yeah.
Just always editing.
Always. I mean, as Josh says, proudly part of the Munzie podcast. We've done that. I do that weekly. We're talking about the, fortnightly with Josh, but I do that weekly, every single week, once a week. We do it's only a half an hour though. It's not a full hour. And it's more about like reading the blog post, reading the weekly blog post to those of people who don't want to read it, that sort of thing. Like Josh is one of those people. And he listens to the podcast every Friday when it comes out on his way to work, etc. from there. So I do have my fingers in another podcast. It's the Geocaching Down Under podcast, which I do editing for that one too, and proud to say I'm one of the producers, the originator of that one, but I've handed it over to PCE, Purple Cash Eater, her name is, and she's doing a great job down in Australia too. So Jeff, if you've got any listeners in Australia that don't listen to the Geocaching Down Under podcast, I don't know why. That's a live show once a month, and she does a great job with that too. So yeah,
I've got most of the podcasts on my podcast stream. I think some of the ones that are live YouTube only, I have them on subscription with YouTube, but the audio only podcasts, all of them, get subscribed to all of them and then listen to them. So it seems like so much, even just in the geocaching realm itself, has changed in 25 years, because now we're talking about all these location games. We've got Adventure Labs, we've got Munzie, we've got all of our podcasts, and like all the social media stuff. And like, it's kind of like we're reminiscing right back to the way things used to be, like at the very dawn of geocaching, and when it was just physical containers and GPS coordinates and barely any internet communication.
Yes. Actually, that's funny because so my kids do competitive speaking, and they also judge competitive speaking for high schools and whatnot. They've been champions all the way up through college. And my son, who is at Western Kentucky University, was judging a speech, and the speech was, you guessed it, on geocaching.
Oh wow!
It was so funny, and it wasn't like an informative about what geocaching is. It was actually a story about geocaching that they were performing, and he recorded it for me. And I had to get such a kick out of it. And afterwards, I was like, did you tell them that your dad is pretty involved in the geocaching world? He's like, yeah, I put it on their review. So, but yeah, there's even competitive kids in high school speaking about geocaching. It's huge. It is very, very big.
So Craig, you seem like you are like super busy with a lot of things going on, and Josh, you just said that you barely have any travels. You're running low on foot. Do you have any plans? Anything going on right now? Any projects in the work? I know I've seen you promote your comic book a couple of times. How's that going, or is there anything else in the works?
Yeah, that's a good question. So last year? Yes, I had a really focused goal on hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I was pushing hard towards that last year, especially with producing just a lot of shorts. I hit that goal last October, and now I kind of have to like regather myself and figure out what's next. I did the comic book. hit that milestone, and I do have a day job too, and it gets in the way. It gets in the way of goals. So right now, the one thing I'm holding on to is just my consistency of like getting a geocaching video out every single Sunday. And like I said, it's kept going for 14 years. So a part of it too is Craig and I have had conversations. We had a lot of conversations with people that run geotours. Geotours, they really want us to people to promote them, and it's a really nice pairing if we can go to a city that runs a geotour and say, hey, we'll come and feature your geotour on TikTok. We'll make a full-size YouTube video, and we'll also do a podcast on Treasures of Our Town. So mixing, finding the way where the Treasures of Our Town podcast can really mingle with all the other stuff that we're putting out. So that's pretty much, I would say, where I'm going. Unfortunately, I just have not been able to dive into it as much as I've wanted to, just because, again, I have a day job, and it's it pulls me away.
That usually makes you travel a lot more, but apparently not so much now.
Yeah, but that kind of travel is different because usually it's just like rural Wisconsin. So,
but it's a great example of how kind of going back to the roots of geocaching as well, right? It's like I think some of your recent videos have been just kind of casually going out to find a cache, but you're having fun doing it, and you're doing something. You're making your own fun. I like to say it's like geocaching. You're finding a container, but how fun is it? Well, you make your own fun, even if it's just this run of the mill little thing out there. It's like have fun with it, do something, I think, and people love to watch you have fun.
I do, Josh. I do remember. I haven't spoken to you about this yet, Josh. So here's another one for you. He's like, what's he going to say? One of Josh's most recent videos as well. It's not literally his most recent, but in the last few weeks, same sort of thing. And I can tell from my side of point of view, and that is because I'm a mate of Josh as well, that he had to create this video, and it's like he did this on a Saturday and he needed to publish by the Sunday, and so he's even got footage of him walking into a Target store because he had to get the underlayers because it was so cold and snowy and everything else in Minnesota, and then he does
underwear,
the underwear, the Longans underwear, whatever you call them. You'd know them, Jeff, more than me being Canadian. The long johns, that's what they're called, long johns. Yes. And then Josh walks out like preparing and showing everyone his long johns in Target too. So I like it. See, so
yeah, it's funny you say that, because one of the things I'm really aiming for is just trying to be a little bit just more authentic and do a little bit more of just like behind the scenes and record the things that a lot of the times I don't show. It's really easy on social media and video just to show the best of everything. But really, really people want to see the struggles. They want to see the mess ups. Being a little bit more of a perfectionist, historically, I've kind of hidden that stuff, and I'm really trying to just bring more of my authentic self to it. For example, the video, I had to make a video this weekend because I'm going on a trip. Thank goodness, this weekend finally. And I was like, what? I was like, what am I going to do? I mean, I found all the good geocaches, and I was like, wait a minute, I have to pack for this mega event. And so I just made a video of me packing, and I thought, some people might think that's interesting because it's like, okay, I had to pack clothes. I had to pack all my electronics and stuff because I'm a vlogger. And then like, what do I have to bring as a geocacher? And so it's going to be very just like real. But I think that's one of the things that I really just want to lean into a little bit more. I've hit the goal that I want to hit. Like the numbers are kind of just like, they're great. Awesome. I'm really proud of hitting that goal. I'm proud of getting that play button. But now the kind of the pressure's off, that I can just like experiment and do some different things. So I think that's the direction of my YouTube channel.
Well, that's a huge congratulations on that milestone as well. I don't think anybody can say that too much. 100,000 people in the geocaching community. I mean, I think we all know there's only one other channel that comes anywhere near that, and it just wholesome shoots way on by that mark.
It's not a million.
Hitting that one in it.
It's not a million, but it's something.
And
I'm an old dude. I think that you should multiply that for every decade.
and I do say this as well, and that is that even though they're both on YouTube, they're both on TikTok. YouTube especially though, I feel Josh is more old school YouTube in terms of the
Yeah.
long form video content, not the short form. Whereas the wholesome sort of stuff, he's literally all just short form only.
He's got the ADD stuff going.
Exactly, and therefore his target audience are those types of people, and the younger generation, which we all need. Headquarters needs younger generation to find out what geocaching is and bring them into the world. But yeah, his format is literally the way he does it is all for the younger generation and those quick videos. Whereas Josh, I feel, is more old school and does a lot of the long form stuff. And let's be honest, we all know, we've all been there. You too, Jeff. Those long form videos, man, they take days to record and then edit. Whereas the short stuff, you could do it in 10 minutes. You can do a short form video in 10 minutes and post it.
Yep.
So,
and then podcasts without the video, they still take a long time. But even though you're doing up to like an hour or so average podcast, just audio, it takes about as long as a 5-minute video.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Speaking of the younger generation, though, Josh, your kids, when did they start geocaching with you? Like, did you start? When did that all happen?
Yeah, I think Reese was age 10, so it was like 10, 7, and 4, I think. So they were little, and now Reese, my oldest, is now 26, almost 26 years old.
Wow.
So because I've been geocaching for 16 years. So that's wild, and what's really cool too is like now that I'm a parent of an adult, like. You know how they always say, like, there's a phase where, like, they're little kids, they geocache with you, and then through the teenage years, they kind of disappear. But they always come back. They come back because they have such nostalgia around experiencing it. And then, they go to college and they say, well, my dad's the geocaching vlogger. And then they watch my YouTube channel. And then when I visit them at college, all the college friends are like, let's go geocaching. So yeah, it's really cool and rewarding to see like, oh yeah, all that time, all that effort of spending time with my kids geocaching, it still pays off when they're adult. And when my kids have kids, they're probably gonna carry on the legacy, third generation.
And Josh, I think as well, a lot of people, if they didn't know you in terms of with Reese, etc. as well, to look at you today, and here you go, I'm going to fanboy here. To look at you today, mate, it doesn't look like you've got a 26-year-old child. Just saying, like you are very young at heart, and you still have that youthful appearance. And I think that comes out in your videos as well, in regards to how much fun you do actually have. And people ask me all the time. I go to a lot of events now here that I'm van lifing, and people always ask me about Josh, and they go, "Is he really that?" I'm like, "He's really that guy." Like. In front of camera, behind camera, he's really that guy. I mean, obviously, we all have our downtime and we have our reset times, but no, Josh is really that guy. So,
and Josh, I don't think you've aged much at all either since you started. Your hair's changed.
Yeah, I don't shave the sides anymore, but it's getting taller and taller as it goes back. As it goes back and recedes just a little bit, it gets taller and taller. So
they can do the comb over. He's going to do the comb over soon. You watch.
Yeah, right. I'm just glad I still have hair. So.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. So, I always joke around, Jeff, as well. I say, I wear my hat now as well, and I'm happy to wear that hat now because I used to have a 4 head and now I've got a 6 head. So there is a difference. So.
Yep, I'm the same way. I always got to wear that.
You got to wear the hat now. So exactly, try and keep that youthful appearance underneath the hat. So.
There you go.
Yeah, the kids, the new generation, that's the tough one because the culture is so different. Like, how do you get them to enjoy the core geocaching, like going out the adventure, the finding things, especially when now you've got all the location-based games, all digital on the phone, and you can just go out, to find anything. It's all simple and engaging and everything. And so, yeah, trying to come back to the roots of geocaching, I hope, is what some of the stuff for this year is going to be doing to try to promote the hobby. And I know I've got a new generation now coming up in my household.
Oh yeah! Congratulations! Oh, we're the first episode after the new one's been born. So, well, in that case, then, Jeff, on behalf of all your listeners, a big congratulations to you and your lovely wife as well. And it's very, very cute. If you don't follow Jeff on his social medias, then look. I'm starting to sound like this is my podcast taking over. If you don't follow Jeff on his social medias, why not have a look? And very cute, bub, mate, and congratulations from everyone. So
thank you,
and very good at growing the game. One child at a time. So
yes. Hey, that's a good one. One child. He just had his first official geocaching event yesterday. It was sunset for the first sunset of spring with the daylight savings time switchover.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a little cold, though, and it's up on a hill that's used for tobogganing in our city, a very, very big hill. And so it was a little more effort to get him up there than I expected. But he made it up barely in time for the sunset, and I didn't have a geocaching name for him yet, and I kind of put that out on Facebook to see what other people had ideas for it, and it just kind of came to mind. So maybe it's another little scoop here, but because his first event was at sunset and he was way up high on the hill, I think what kind of just slipped into my mind, kind of cool and kind of sci-fi-ish, is Skycrawler 1. You know, like Skywalker.
Wow.
That's cool.
Skycrawler 1. That is cool and nerdy, which we all love too. So
I have a tip for creating accounts for your children, because I think I would have done this if I could go back in time. I would have done this. I would have, instead of creating an account for them, I would have had a trackable that I would dip in every cache that they were at. So when they decide on their own that they want a geocaching account, then there could be like, oh, I've already found all these. We're like, hey, guess what? I know every single cache that you visited because of that trackable. So that's another thing is like, I don't think you necessarily have to create an account for them. That you can let them, when they're older, pick their own name. Although you can change names. Yeah.
Another option that I have been using is just a list. So when you do a list with somebody else that doesn't have an account, or you want to remember for later, just add that cache that you were at to the list, and then you know the date that it was found, and then you can log it later if you want to too. So there's other strategies people have employed.
For sure. But, because it is really annoying when you go geocaching with all three of your kids, and you have to log each and every kid because they don't log their own.
So 2025 geocaching are aside from obviously Geo Woodstock, are there other events that you guys are planning to visit, planning to get to?
Well, Josh, I'll let Josh go first because I'll take a lot longer than what he will. So, Josh, you go first, mate. You go first.
Oh, my God.
Point form list.
Jeff, your listeners, just to preview Craig's, your listeners are going to be extremely jealous of his life and his lifestyle. And his route, his 2025 route is going to be, I don't know if there's going to be another person in the world or the country, or certainly U.S., that is going to go to as many block parties as Craig will. It's pretty amazing. I currently only have one block party on my radar, which is actually happening. I'm not sure when this podcast will be released, but it's actually happening this weekend, which is Texas Challenge. It is the 23rd Texas Challenge. And in all my years of geocaching, that is one mega event that has eluded me. So this year, both tonight, Craig and I are making a priority to get down there. We're going to do a podcast on the small city that it is in. It's Floresville, Texas. So we'll do a podcast there. Of course, we'll do a bunch of video, and we'll experience Texas Challenge in a unique way. We'll have, of course, they have their competitions, but they're also having the GPS maze there. So they're very excited about this big Texas Challenge. And I think it's right outside of San Antonio, which I absolutely love San Antonio. If you've ever visited it, it's I believe, an underrated city as far as cities go. So that currently is the only one. It is very likely that I will go to the West Bend Cache Bash. I have not been to the Midwest Geo Bash for many, many years. So that one is on my radar. So, but I know for sure that I'm going to Texas Challenge, but
and Woodstock.
Yeah, he said other than Woodstock.
I didn't hear you say other. I didn't hear you say other than Woodstock. So would you like mine now, Jeff?
Sure. The rest of the podcast.
Okay.
I can fast forward at twice the speed.
I'll keep it brief. Just recently, the block party I went to was in Florida. So I did a block party in Florida with Dale and Barb from Space Coast Geostore. Then I went all the way across to Bammarama. Bammarama, they have the block party as well, but they've got, you ready for this, the most lead-up events of any mega event in the world. They have 11 days of lead-up events, 11 days. 11 days of lead-up events, which is, and each day is more than 2 a day. So you're looking at over 20 lead-up events leading up to the actual block party itself. people coming to 2026, you got to come to 2026. Why? Because Jeff, I'm on the committee now for 2026, so it is a Olympic themed as well. So get your butts down to Bammarama. Perfect time of year to come down as well. So a big shout out
As
to
if
them.
you don't have enough to do, Craig.
Exactly. I know, right? I know. But it's all remote. It's all remote, so it's okay.
And another plug for Bammarama, I just want to say, because
Yes.
I went last year, is they know how to party.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is it's a fun area. The reason they have like 20 events is like everyone's a party. It's like 20 parties.
It is.
So it's a good time.
We've got a lot of people from around here who also attend that, and they all say the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
photos and sharing all the stuff that's happening at Bammarama.
Exactly. I mean, snowbirds, best location for snowbirds. I will say that. Obviously, going to Texas Challenge with Josh, and then I've got Moga, I've got Mingo, I've got Geo Woodstock. What else have I got? I'm just trying to look through my list itself. I've got Munsey events in between as well. There's another one called Camp. Is it Camp Migo?
Migo, yeah, Michigan, Migo,
yeah,
Migo,
the Michigan one. I'll be that one. ASP, I'll be at ASP as well. That one there. I'm looking at West Bend Cash Bash. I'm looking at what's the other one? Oh, the Rocky Mountain Block Party as well over in Colorado. And then possibly looking at even Fall Fest up in Canada. Eh?
Hey,
yes, so,
hey,
yeah,
yes. I hope you do.
That's on my list as well. And this is all inclusive of another place called, because obviously I'm on the Geocaching podcast, the GCPC, with Scott Burks and Chad. And Scott wants to do this year, he wants to do what he calls the Turkey Trot. Have you heard anything about the Turkey Trot, Jeff?
Turkey Trot.
Turkey Trot. So what it basically means is that, you know, the ET Highway, the ET Highway, it's got over 4,000 caches along the highway.
It was 2,700 when we did it. It's 4,000 now?
4,000 now. 4,000 in total. So what he wants to do now, we all know how this one is supposed to be done. It's supposed to be done where you drive along, you pick up the container back to the car, and you're signing your name on that container as you're going to the next one, and then you swap out the containers. You don't stand there and write your name and put it back. It's supposed to be the swap out. That's the whole theme for it.
Yeah, that was our strategy. So that's called it the Turkey Trot.
No. The Turkey Trot is the event that we're hosting there. So, and the reason why we're calling it the Turkey Trot is because we're doing it instead of Thanksgiving here in the US. So instead of hanging around with your family at Thanksgiving, come with your friends to Thanksgiving. And the more people we get, we're actually going to do it the leapfrog style. See, so this is a little bit contentious with some people. They're like,
the cheating style. The cheating style.
Well, again, it is what it is. It is part of. We're all going to be there. We're all going to drive past each other. So at the moment, Jeff, there's over 50 people attending now. 50 people. That's 12 cars. 12 divided by 4, like 4,000 divided by 12. You find 400 caches and you can log 4,000 caches. So yeah, that's.
Oh, don't get me started.
It is.
You're gonna start a whole internet argument, and you're like left and right fighting each other over this topic.
Oh yeah, it is a Scott Burks original idea. I'm not taking credit for it because I don't want to take credit for it. Am I going to it? Yes. I'm okay with it, of course. I have to be okay with it, but I'm not a big advocate of it. I would only do it, Jeff, only on this particular run along the ET High. I would not do it anywhere else. So I'm not one of those.
And I'll say this: both Craig and I are not numbers people. So the fun of that is going to be the ET Highway, but the real fun will be after the hanging out. It's like a small mega event. Have 50 people. All hanging out at a hotel together,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'd say that's about as far as I would go. With same thing with ET, because when we did it with the 2400 there, we only had the one vehicle, but the most common leapfrog quote style, as far as I would go, is one person, or you're all one group, you're signing one, and then as one person is signing, the next people go to the next cache, and then they catch up, and then if they found it by the time you get there, then you can see it and you move on to the next one, but you never go past one that hasn't been found. I mean, that's about as much of a leapfrog as I do instead of. So that it can definitely be contentious when you have that many vehicles. And
it's so funny. It's so funny because I think my belief is like people can cache however you want to cache. But everybody has their own personal rules, right? And so for me, it's like I just have to see every cache I log.
Yeah.
So I actually at West Bend Cache Batch, I actually went leapfrogging with Scott Burks, and I had to literally like slow down as I'm driving by, and I had to actually physically see it, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to log that one. And there were literally ones that I went past that I didn't see that I didn't log. So
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
and I was just gonna say, like, that's something I wouldn't do. Like you said, I'm not saying anything about you, but like you said, if there were 4,000 that were found, and I only saw 400, personally, I would only log the 400. But that's just me. We have groups in Ontario that do that. They break up, and then the entire group logs, I don't know, whatever, 50 or 100 for the day, and most people only found a third of them at most. Like,
well, guess what, Jeff? This is what you say. You say, listeners, right now, let us know in the comments. If you're listening to this yourself, comment. What would you do? What are your thoughts? If this is on Instagram or TikTok or any other social media, comment. Let us know your thoughts. What would you do? Right there, Jeff. There you go. That's that little soundbite for you that you needed. So you're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
And it could blow up with the comments of everybody fighting.
Everybody
controversy. People love controversy. Speaking
of controversy, and one of my videos, and it is one of my biggest TikTok videos with over 7 million views. It is a 8-second video of me finding one of those little fake bolts. That's all it is. It's a fake bolt. You know, we've all, as geocachers, we've all seen them. I find the fake bolt. It was underneath a park bench. I pick it out. It's magnetic. I pick it out, unscrew it. There's the logbook. That's it. I don't even talk in it, Jeff, at all. 7 million views. But do you know why it got picked up? Because everyone in the comments were arguing with each other about it being because there was an armrest in between, like this in the middle of the bench. So everyone was arguing about it being an anti-homeless device. I just let it go. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so it's got nothing to do with geocaching. They're talking about the actual armrest on this bench, but you know what? It picked it up, and it's over 7 million views now because everyone's arguing on it. So in saying that, argue between yourselves now. What would you do? Would you leapfrog? Don't you leapfrog? So
we'll get people talking about what leapfrogging actually is.
Exactly. Exactly. I like it, mate. I like it. Good job.
So what about, nobody said anything about visiting HQ, or Craig, as you'd say, HQ.
HQ. No, I've been there, done that. Like, you know, bought the T-shirt, literally. Yeah. No, Josh, are you visiting? I don't think you're visiting either, right?
Probably not. Probably not this year.
No,
There's
no. It's going to be like all crickets there this year. Everybody's already been, and nobody's
real reason.
Everybody's celebrating everywhere else.
I mean, I think the block parties are a great idea. I think it's really fun. It's unique. But boy, did I really love when they did it was actually the 22nd anniversary.
Yes.
That was an epic day to be down there by the Space Needle. I mean, it was a giga. I mean, there were that many people there, but of course it wasn't classified as a giga because it was a block party. But that was that's amazing.
And it was huge because it was coming off of COVID as well. So everybody wanted to get out to the next big event and everything.
Yeah. So I always love a good trip to Seattle. It's a great city. It is I have friends with so many of the lackeys there. So it's a draw, but there's so many other places I want to go this year.
Well, I've got another question for you then, Jeff, and this is another contentious issue. I'm full of them. And that is, I'd never been to a block party, and I didn't get to that HQ, the bash that HQ had either, because I was actually sailing in Alaska at the time, doing the Alaskan sail. Anyway, so my only block party that I had, so I didn't have the block party icon. So this year now, with all these block parties coming out, here's the question for you: Does it sort of lessen the block party logo or the block party icon because you had to go all that way to HQ when they had the block party that time? Because they've only done it twice. So does it lessen the fact that you've been there and now you're like, oh, Craig, for instance, he's never been there, but now all of a sudden now he's getting all these block parties. So what do you think on that?
I'll ask you the same question then. Does the revival of locationless caches available now for very short periods of time, does that devalue the original locationless caches that people had logged previously?
Yeah, that's exactly
or the virtual caches.
Yes, true. Or that people want webcam awards, and I could argue the thing that makes webcams cool is that they're rare. I don't really think, I personally don't think they're that amazing. I mean, we're using old technology. The cool thing is that they're rare and you could shoot to try to get them all. So, with 8 cache too, when they reinstated the 8 cache, it's like, you have people that I went down to Brazil, it's like,
I did Seattle twice.
Yeah. Exactly. So you can say it for a lot of things, but even with the webcams, for instance, as well, back in the old days with the webcams, we didn't have these mobile phone devices where we had the internet on our phones. You had to be on the phone to someone else at home with a web browser open. They could see you and they go, okay, put your hands up now. And then they took a photo of the screen for then you to log it later. Now you just stand there, you look at yourself and go, here I am, then look up, wave, screenshot, done. So,
so that's another cache type that kind of evolved over the years to be a completely different experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, you can create virtual caches now that do require you to provide a webcam photo at a webcam.
Yeah.
It's still listed as a virtual, but you can still do webcams. It's just you don't really get a webcam credit. You might have to find somebody who makes a list of all of the virtuals that are, quote, webcam virtuals, and then try to complete that list.
Yeah.
But I don't know if bringing back webcam caches will be good, unless they do like a special HQ one or something like that. Very, very, very limited.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But then you got someone who's actually in charge of the webcam sticking out headquarters itself. Like if it's down on the ground, because it's got to be available 24/7 almost. So it's got to be pointed outside. It can't be on the inside. So yeah. But then again, their headquarters, they do their own rules.
So another question then, of all of these major events that you've got on your list, how many are mega events and how many are block parties?
Honestly, I don't even know, mate. I don't even know. All I know is that they're big events, and that's what I'm going to. So, Josh, yes.
I do know that Moga is a mega event.
Moga's mega.
And the Hawaii Worldwide Cache Fest.
Cache Fest is a mega.
That is a mega. I think that's the only two in America that are
Fall.
mega.
Yeah, maybe in the U.S.
Fall
Canada,
Fest.
we've got Fall Fest. They intentionally wanted to stay mega and not go block parties.
Yeah. Now that's rare.
Yeah, exactly.
This year.
Ironically, the mega event is the rare one. But we're trying to get a couple more to get block party. I think we've got in Ontario, we've got the LNA mega event, which is a block party, but they're struggling to get the 300 for this year. And then we've got two others that are closing in on 300 to try to get that status. And then Fall Fest has already got that mega event status. So I think if you've got a mega event around you, then try to make an effort to attend that, because there's currently not going to be very, very many mega events this year.
No, not at all. Not at all. I am looking forward to the Fall Fest in Canada, Jeff, as well. We had one of the people there on the geocaching podcast call in and talk to us about Fall Fest as well. I then met her. I met her in person when she came down to Bember as well, and we hung out for a little while too. So it was really cool. And again, that's another reason why I'm definitely looking forward to Fall Fest. And of course, fall in Canada. Why wouldn't you? That's nice. It's pretty.
Oh yeah.
The only worry,
maple syrup.
The only worry I have is with this van not going across to Canada, because Canadians are really nice, but coming back into America, oh man, I am going to get hammered. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I'm going to get the dog. The dog's going to jump in the van. It's going to sniff around the van, making sure there's no items that shouldn't be there. And yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully these tariffs things will end by then, but that's a whole other topic. Yeah. No. The team behind Fall Fest has. I don't think all of them, but most of them have been a part of Midwest Geobash or have had experience with Midwest Geobash. So this one's kind of very similar in style and structure to Midwest Geobash. A few days before at a fairground with camping, and I think the content is going to be very similar as well. So it's going to be kind of Canada's cross-border version of Midwest Geobash for the first one.
Nice. And Jeff, as I've said it several times now, I live in my van. This is my house. This is where I live. So for me to be able to just literally just park up in amongst all the geocaching community and just jump in, and I've got my beds already made. I'm set. I've got my kitchen sinks here, the whole lot. So I can just park it up and then get out, and I'm in amongst all my friends. So I'm very, very happy and excited for all those type of events. Yep, definitely.
So what other news from HQ for this year are you excited about? Because I think one of them is the onset of virtual treasures.
I will speak to this. I actually am quite excited about this. I think it is very rare, unlike Munzie, which has a different amazing gamified thing every week. Geocaching's always been a little bit slower at that. So I'm really curious on how it'll be received. My guess is that a lot of people like fear change. They're like, oh, it's dumb, it's stupid initially, but then after it goes on for a while, I think, they see people excited about it and getting these virtual treasures. I think they're gonna want. We love collecting things. Geocachers love collecting things, so I think souvenirs are very popular. So my gut is that. My guess is in the initial reactions, there's going to be a little bit of resistance, but once they get into it, Yeah, I think it'll take off, and I just love the gamification of geocaching, just adding another layer to it beyond just finding the cache, logging the cache, getting the souvenir. That so I like that. I like that
Mhm.
idea, and
Mhm.
different than promotions.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more permanent. I like that.
I
Mhm.
do. Yeah, I do enjoy it too. I think it's a good idea. I mean, as Josh just said that, Munsey already do it for in leaps and bounds. That's their sort of style as well. So it's a different sort of mindset compared to the average geocaching mind as well. I just hope for one thing, and if Brian Roth, if you're listening, I really want them to be very artistic in terms of the actual treasures
Yeah.
themselves. These need to look
Yeah.
good. They need to be high quality. I will say when I don't like something, I don't like it. And Jeff, I did not like that alien thing that they came out with. I'm like, in terms of artwork, I'm like, surely there could have been better artwork for that and better badge artwork as well. Because like Josh said, souvenirs, we all love our souvenirs. So
Mhm.
a digital souvenir that's actually high quality in terms of its look, then we're proud of that more so, and we're more likely to screenshot it and send it all on our social medias as well. So
Mhm. Mhm.
whereas that alien one, I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts were, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of the alien one.
Yeah, it's like HQ kind of has their artistic style, and it's very similar across a lot of their projects. But I think there are some variations. But I don't know, like it was very cartoony. I didn't really have too much of a problem with it, but I know that people do talk about how the souvenir art needs to be more memorable, more work
Mhm.
put into it, especially with
Mhm.
the region souvenirs. There's just a lot of commentary on some of the artwork used for that. I have no idea what their process is for deciding what's good and not, but I can just imagine the deliberation that goes on behind closed doors about when to hit go on a specific souvenir. Is it good
Mhm.
enough?
Yeah, yep. No, that's then to move on as well, Jeff. For myself, I'm actually looking forward to the reintroduction this year of GIF, because we all know how much all
Mhm.
three of us love our GIF Geocaching International Film Festival. If you haven't heard,
Good GIF.
the GIF, the GIF for the GIF.
Good GIF. Good GIF.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that now. I'm not going to spoil it in any way, but am I producing a video? Well, yes. Is Josh producing a video? Yes. Maybe producing it together? Yes.
Oh.
Oh, we'll just leave it at that, shall we? We'll just leave it at that. What do you think, Josh? Just leave it at that?
So I have not submitted a video since the very first GIF.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
that was
haven't?
no. Because I won it.
You left
I
on a high
won.
note.
Exactly. He won.
I
Why
won.
would you? He's the
I have
only.
the-
He's the
I-
only person with a trophy. He's the only person with a Geocaching International. They didn't do a trophy after he won that first one. That's it. Look at that trophy. If you can't see it, it's a big trophy. It's pretty much the size of Josh's head. What it is now.
And it looks so golden.
It's so
I
golden.
won
It's got a
two.
compass.
I won two trophies.
So wasn't one of them supposed to be your keeper, and the other one supposed to be a perpetual trophy?
No, the big one is the audience award. That's the big one. That's the one people voted on.
Oh,
And this
really?
one's most creative or experimental. So I won 2 awards that first year.
Wow,
Mhm,
wow.
mhm.
And so now, Jeff, if you do win this day and age, all you get is 5 years premium membership. That's
Yeah.
what you get.
I got that too, though. I got that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Come on, HQ, do better. Come on, HQ,
You
do
just
better.
submit every 5 years and you get your free geocaching for life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yep.
That's
But no,
actually
yeah,
good. That's actually a good prize, though. 5 years.
5 years.
Mhm.
That's
That's
$150.
Look
Yeah,
at you do
yeah.
the math, Josh. Look at you doing
Wow,
math.
I know,
Good.
right?
I know. But no, Josh and I, we are proud. We did come up with this idea late last year, I do believe, Josh. Correct me if I'm wrong. We both had similar ideas in regards to it, and we've just literally combined both our thoughts and both our creativeness to get it done and get it sorted. There will be people out there, because there will be other people involved in this. So if you're involved in this, then we thank you as well for helping out. And but you'll be part of the secret team to know exactly what's going on before it's been seen on the big screen. Well, hopefully it gets picked. It's got to get picked.
We're
It's got to get
assuming
picked first.
Yeah.
we're assuming you got a good streak going, Craig. So I
Yeah.
think you're the one to partner with. And Craig does such a good job. His videos have been films. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
films.
Yeah,
your
filmmaking.
films. I like his style because it's very cinematic. You know,
Yeah.
he does, I think the 24 frames per second, which is
Mhm.
basically what it looks like a movie, you know, and I like that style. He has the equipment. And I think that, yeah, we've never joined forces for a GIF, and I haven't done it since 2013. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's been 12 years. So
Yeah.
time to throw my hat back in the ring. And,
Wow.
I can't think of a perfect person to do it with than Craig.
Aw.
And see, Jeff, the reason why I've linked Josh in as well is because he's the one, the original winner as well. So if there's anyone to help me actually win one out of, I've had five finalists out of 6 videos entered. So I'm pretty happy to be a finalist. Don't get me wrong. I am very proud to even be selected to begin with.
And they have been great videos. They have been great.
Thank you. And I will say that I was the part of the creative direction on last year's winner from Australia as well. They were great. They are such nice people. They reached out to me because they had no idea. They had the idea of what they wanted to create, but didn't know how to do it. And literally, so here's a topic for you as well. If you're thinking about what you want to do as a GIF video, get it done, because they did it everything with an iPhone. An iPhone. That's it. A phone. They used a phone.
Yeah.
That's all they did. I spoke to them about settings a little bit. I told them a little bit about editing processes and what I use. They used a free editing software that you can do on the computer, like on the internet, and that was it. It was their idea that won over being anywhere to be cinematic. You don't need big cameras. You don't need big gear. You know. So if you've got an idea, get out there, get it filmed, get it edited, and get it submitted. So.
Yeah, that is true. The ones that have quote unquote won, or the audience have picked, have not always been the most highest quality.
No.
But for me, it's like I want to put out something that I'm personally proud of, even if it doesn't win. It's so satisfying to have, and I'm sure you all can relate. You have a vision, you have a picture of what you want it to look like, and then to actually see it come to life is really, like, for me, that's super rewarding. It's kind of the exact thing that happened with the comic book. Like, I had a picture in my brain, and to be able to get that picture into for the comic book, Rich's brain, and have it's just amazing that whole process. So I'm excited to do it and see if we can actually pull off what it's in my brain.
Yeah, you want to be satisfied with your work at the end of the day, right? It's
totally.
You want to produce something that is close enough to what you envision, but then you want to be satisfied that what you did is the best that you could do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. And I'm looking forward to this one as well, being the camera guy behind it. And not normally, Jeff, I'm the everything in my video. So in other words, I'm the camera guy, I'm the artistic director, I'm just the director in general. Then sometimes I'll be in front of the camera. Whereas this one for me is going to be a lot more different, because I'm literally just the camera guy, because I have Josh there as the main director. So I want him there as well. I'm going to have a screen for him so he can actually see the footage. We're having the actors, so-called the actors themselves, which are other geocachers. They're not real actors, but there'll be other geocachers, and therefore we'll do these shots, and then I'll look to Josh. We'll then talk over between ourselves. If we're happy with that particular shot, then we move on. Like, if it's going to feel like it's a real movie sort of creation, rather than just me filming myself, for instance, in my bathroom in the shower, for instance. So
it's so different than vlogging, because vlogging is so off the cuff. It's really a different process to fully storyboard something out.
And it's far more intentional.
Exactly. I think one of the I mean, you could call it a mistake, but like with my geocaching addiction, the very first one I did, it was very script, words driven. Like, it was a lot of words, and I've seen so many other great films. Craig's, yours is a great example of last year, where you just let the images and the tone and the music really tell the story. And I think that's really helpful, because it is the International Film Festival. So I think if people can watch it and not know English and be able to fully like follow it along and figure out what it's about, I think that's one of the things I learned about from the first time, because I would have, for mine to be enjoyed, you have to know English. For the one I did in my first year.
Well, moving on to some other things for this year. Are you guys going to enjoy the upcoming April 16th Pajama Day?
Well,
of course.
Jeff, I will say this, like, it was last month or the month before, I can't remember, but it was this year, the beginning of this year. I kind of did that because I did the naked cache in Florida. There's actually two. There's two naked
Clothing
caches in Florida.
optional. Yep.
Clothing optional. And so yeah, I did it, and I put a video out about that as well. So, but yeah, so I kind of did my. Would that be classed as geocaching in pajama day if you're naked? Because if you don't wear pajamas, that would be the same, surely.
No,
sure,
no, that doesn't count. You gotta wear pajamas.
But if that's your pajamas, your skin is your pajamas.
Yeah,
it's a birthday suit.
You could just say the hair on your body is your pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. While I bang my chest and walk through the bush like it's the next sighting of Bigfoot. Like,
when I heard it's geocaching pajama day, all I thought is like, okay, that's great. That's a week. That's a week of a video I can make for that week.
Oh, and you know what you can do, Josh. Here's a thought for you. If it's geocaching in pajama day, now you are in the US, so all you need to do is go and find a lamp skirt cache in a Walmart parking lot, and you're going to blend in with all the other attendees of Walmart. So,
oh, that's true. That's true.
You should wear your skin suit for pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah. Are you gonna do it, Jeff?
I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. We have a family pajama set, so I might wear that.
Oh, that is good. Well, if you do, then you've got to do photos for social media as well. So absolutely.
I think what would really make it fun if people have pajama events, like people
gather
together in their pajamas. That's gonna be. I mean, just to go out by yourself, in your pajamas. It's like, what's the point? Nobody's gonna see me.
Didn't Sonny and Shandy? I'm thirsty.
Sonny and Shandy.
Sonny and Shandy. For their quick video. What do they call them? They call them the 30-minute ones.
The flash mobs.
The flash mobs. Yeah.
They did it worldwide. That's what I'm after. Worldwide flash mob. One of their worldwide flash mobs they did was pillow fighting. I remember one of them. I saw one of them was actually pillow fights, and everyone joined in their pajamas and had a pillow fight as their flash mob. So yeah,
it's just over a month away. So as of recording this, So if you're listening to this and you want to do it, then host an event. Get it out there. It's going to be out 2 weeks before the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one for this year is logging that location list, that new location list 25.
Yeah.
Have you guys found a 25 yet?
Yes, I have found a 25.
Jeff, if people don't
log
a worthwhile 25,
not a worthwhile one.
If people don't know yet, Jeff, all it is basically, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but all it is, you find the actual numbers 2 and 5 together, 25, and you take a photo with it, and you log it. That's it. That's all. And
you have to log where you were at.
Too. Yeah, you log where you're at. You log your GPS coordinates where you're at, and it's a number 25. So
that's it.
It could be a house. If you live at number 25 somewhere, then it's out your front door. But do you want to log your front door as the location?
Exactly. I was just trying to find the GC code. It's GCA 2025. Would you look at that? 2025 GCA 2025.
They can create their own, their own actual GC codes now. Wow. They've come many ways.
So if you look up that location list, you get all the instructions. But like you were saying, you can technically do it with any 25. So if you don't remember what location list caches are, they were intended to be one where there's the description of the cache, and then you go and you find something that matches the description, take a photo of it, and then post the GPS coordinates along with your photo to the location list. And then whoever the owner of that location list would try to make sure that everybody's location is unique. And then you could theoretically see this map of where all of these things are around the world, everybody who logs them. So you could log a location list cache across the other side of the world if you could find something that matched the requirement. Yeah. So now they've kind of brought them back, and but just as an HQ thing, as a headquarters thing. And so for this particular one, you've got to find something next to, or find a large 25 and take a photo of yourself with the 25. And like you said, it's like you could use somebody's 25 house address or a 25 mile per hour, kilometer per hour speed sign. Yeah, they're everywhere. What's the fun in that, right? So
Well, that's what I was like. The fun in it is to find the most epic 25 you can.
That's right.
So that's what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to come to me, And when I see it, I'm like, that's it. That's the 25 I'm going to use.
And what Josh has ended up using, it's going to be the late December, and then it's going to be Josh with a 25 mile per hour sign behind him, and that's what you're going to see for next year.
I'll just
December 25th.
Yeah, I'll write it in the snow. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. On December 25th. I like it.
Yes,
I like
exactly.
What I'm afraid of is finding something bigger and better before. So like if you find something, oh yeah, I want it, and you log it found, but then you find a better one later on.
Don't log it. Don't log it.
Yeah.
Just take pictures. Take pictures, and the best picture.
There you go.
One.
And then
so
you
log it
at
December 31st.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then earn your end of year souvenir.
At the same time. Yeah. That's
perfect.
It.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, if you're going to any of these big mega events, that might be another. Oh hey, there could be another good option there when you go into these big events. If they've got 2025 or 25-year geocaching, take as many of those as possible.
Yeah. That makes sense. I like it.
I wonder if they'd allow you to post a collage of 25s.
You have to have an exact location. You've got to have
one
one
location.
location.
Yeah.
So the location you put is the best one out of the collection.
Yeah. I think the rules are pretty loose. I don't think they're going to delete anything.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think they're even
putting
looking.
coordinates.
People aren't putting coordinates. People aren't even putting 25 behind them. Some people are actually just putting a sign 25 with next to
the day the listing was unlocked for posting, people were already flooding it with posts.
Yeah.
And it's like, but like you say, you make your own fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anything else that you want to mention for 25 years of geocaching?
Wow.
Well, that's
what do you think, Josh? That's a lot. All I'll say is if you want to know more about 25 years of geocaching, get your backside to Geo Woodstock this year and 12
That'll be the
midday.
place to be.
Yeah, 12 midday. It's place to be. Oh, we haven't told this, Josh, yet. We haven't told Jeff this.
What's that?
12 midday, Josh and I. 12 midday. Josh and I will be on stage recording a Treasures of Our Town podcast about 25 years of geocaching. We've already explained that. But, Jeff, here's the kicker. Here's the twist. Here's the twist. It twists around. At midday, when we go live, the same time, an adventure lab, a 5-stage adventure lab, will pop live at the same location in which you are at, listening to Josh and I. During the podcast, we will give out the answers, the 5 answers along the way. At the end of the podcast recording, the adventure lab is switched off. So if you want 5 adventure labs, you have to be there and listen to us. So you can still geocache exclusive. And listen to us. See, you can still listen to us and geocache at the same time. So there we go.
That could also be a good way to get entries for a draw or a prize.
Yeah. Oh, look at Jeff for the thing.
I'm so excited.
Pushing this on
Craig.
You guys now.
I'm so excited, Craig, when we reveal like a word and all of a sudden you hear all the completion sound.
It's
gonna be
we
awesome.
will. That's going to be cool. That is going to be cool. So that's what we're looking forward to, Jeff, this year. So yeah, come out and meet Josh and myself on any of the locations wherever we might be at, and we'll say good day. I mean, I've still got stickers, Josh, to give out too and stuff too. So we've still got some stuff for them.
Oh yeah, swag giveaways. Anytime you meet anybody, social media vloggers and podcasters and stuff, try to find them because chances are they'll have stuff that will be handing out and giving away. I know I'm trying to come up with a whole bunch of things to have on me because it's because. I don't know about you guys. I know, obviously, you guys feel the same way, but it's always awesome and excellent to meet people the other direction because we're always on this side of the camera. We never really know people on the other side. So coming to these events and meeting people in person is huge, and we love it. Yeah. So if you're going to these events, try to find us and say hi because we want to chat.
Exactly right. Thank you, mate.
I have a question for you guys before we end.
Oh,
yeah.
You
talked about 25 years of geocaching. That's a lot of years. This is what we're going to talk about at Geo Woodstock. What is in your eyes, what is the best thing that Geocaching HQ created for the game in the long 25 years? It could be, I could give examples. The GeoCoin, the Trackable. It could be, it could be Adventure Labs. It could be anything. What do you think is the best thing?
I think, if I'm going to break it down a little more, I would say for physical aspect of it, I think to add on to the discovery and adventure of searching and whatnot, I think GeoCoins are really nice because there's because that kind of also spawned path tags, but the ability to create your own stuff and have a trackable code that you can throw out to the world or keep for yourself, but there's something physical to find and it has value and rarity as well. Like I think that's a nice tangible add-on to the hobby of geocaching that's much more in line with the treasure aspect of it. I think not the keeping treasure, in so many words. But I think that was a really good add-on physically. Virtually, statistics, profile statistics. I mean, come on. That's the best possible thing to come out of geocaching.
I can't argue with that.
So HQ technically didn't invent statistics, right? I mean,
but they allowed systems.
Yeah, when you say the partnership with Project GC, that would be something that's geocaching decided. Was
the ability to take your stats to take all of your information and provide stats. API. There you go. There's a good roundup. All of it to the API. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go further on that as well and say that their combination with the API, etc., with other devices like Cachely, for instance, with other apps, Cachely and GeoGo as well. They're the two main ones. Rather than everyone just literally rely upon their one singular app, because we know if you're a Cachely user, oh man, you're a Cachely lover. You know what I mean? Like everyone. I know people out there who love Android so much, yet they buy a secondhand iPhone just for purposes of Cachely. I know people who've done that. So, Cachely in itself is, in my mind, the best geocaching app. Now, I know headquarters didn't do that at all, but with them working out and going, you know what, we're going to align with this because it is a high-quality tool that our system can use. For them to align with different things, and even Project GC, as you said before, them opening up the fact is that, they can work with other people rather than just to have the monopoly themselves. So I think that's probably the best thing is their collaboration skills with other influencing type products.
If you think about the number one thing that grew the game to where it was, if you go even a higher level, it is making geocaching available on a phone.
Yes.
Think about it. If that never happened, imagine if that never happened, it would still be a very tiny niche.
Tiny. I mean,
it's already niche, but it would be tiny.
And I'll say this: I'm proud to say this. I have never geocached any other way. I've only ever used a mobile phone. So, and I've been around for what I think it's now coming up to 11 years. So, 11 is still not a short period of time, but that's how long it's been out there. And it blows my mind when people come up the I won't say older generation. I'll say the longer geocachers. When they come up and they go, I remember the day we used to have to print out the page from a website. You're one of those, Josh.
I did that.
And yet you're younger than me. What the heck? Like, what the...
But I've been caching longer than you.
This is true. And yet I've got more fines than you.
I literally had paper. In the woods with my kids reading descriptions on paper that I printed up.
Wow. Yeah. And an actual real GPS, like a real one.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
And I started in 2009 and I started with the iPhone, the 3GS. I did every 2 year upgrade, but the 3GS, that was it. And that was the year that I did my first 5.5s. Like I finished my first Fizzy-Grid entirely in that first year. And so I had the iPhone 3GS, and I still list my favorite cache as Tomb Raider down in east of San Diego. And that one, you solve a puzzle in the city, but then it takes you like 60 miles east into the desert, into the mudflats. And I was there for a Comic-Con that year, 2009, with some friends, and they were non-cachers. And we decided, I kind of convinced them, we got to get this cache. I got to get this cache. I need it for my Fizzy-Grid. And it was ridiculous because it's the desert, and they're not cachers. And I have this smartphone with the geocaching app and the final information on it. And so we had a hybrid. I forget what car it was, the common one back then, but we packed 5 of us into that car, like three things of water, and we're driving out into the sandy desert area, going into these mud flats. At one point, we're like, okay, it's hot in the car. Let's open the window. We opened the window, rolled it down. The air flying past the window was hotter than inside the car. So like, close the window. And I remember that one so well because there was a couple of times like this. The lifeline is this iPhone 3GS.
Oh yeah,
just the 3G, like one of the very first iPhones.
Wow.
And there was a couple of times I dropped it in the sand. I'm like, no, please keep working. And it was ridiculous. But I mean, that's my evidence that yes, you can go geocaching with a smartphone. You just got to know how to use it rightly. There's a lot of people that do things like open it up and immediately take GPS, and it's not anywhere near accurate yet. And those older phones are slower and things like that. But if you wait and if you know how to get the right information, then yes, you can absolutely go geocaching with just a smartphone. You don't have to have a dedicated GPS.
But over 13,000 finds, all with a smartphone for me over the last 10 years. So yeah.
Are you curious about mine?
Yes.
It wasn't the cell phone. That was just a piggyback off of yours, Craig. I think one of the best things that geocaching created was events. More specifically, this designation of mega and giga events. The idea that you can gather 5,000 plus geocachers together and then have there be a reason to be there because of the stupid little icon that people want.
It made it into a challenge, kind of.
The idea that a little digital icon would motivate people to get over 5,000 people to gather is wild.
Well, that's me. The Cincinnati went giga, and that's why I made my plans to come out. And now I'm living in the US because of
your life changed.
My life changed because of that. Because I wanted that one icon. So 100% true, Josh. Mate, keep that in our show notes for our podcast.
And it's actually proof too when we talk about virtual treasures. That's just a virtual piece, right?
That's right.
And so there are people out there that really value those virtual pieces. So my prediction is it's going to be resistance at first, but then everybody's going to get on board and they're going to like it. That's my prediction.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming to join me for this episode. It's great to be back and to have you guys to be able to chat, just hang out, talking about geocaching and everything related to caching. And if anybody listening, if you haven't yet checked it out, you got to look up Toot in your podcast players.
Don't look up Toot. You won't find Toot. Treasures
of our town. Yes,
treasures
all
of
together.
Our town. Exactly. A travel podcast guided by our love of location-based games like geocaching. So
And look up season 2, episode 9 if you're interested in a Canadian's opinion.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks again for coming by, and I wish you all the best in your geocaching adventures, and I will see you guys soon. Hopefully.
Yes.
Fingers crossed, everything goes well to make that work out.
There,
as well as everybody else listening who ends up coming to Geo Woodstock.
Exactly.
Come to Geo Woodstock, please.
Thanks for having us, mate. Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of TGIF Geocaching Radio. My thanks also to the wonderful Cache-A-Line patron supporters who help keep this line rolling. If you'd like to consider supporting the show and all that Cache-A-Line does, please visit patreon.com/cachetheline to check out how you can pitch in for as little as a cup of coffee a month. Plus, see the bonus rewards and exclusives you'll get in return. This has been Jeff on TGIF, and until next time, as always, happy caching and excellent adventure.